So first of all, what I want to do is break the finish of the plaster all the way around the line that I've marked. So I'm not going to absolutely wallop the living daylights out of it on the first part. I'm just going to break that finish on the actual plaster itself using my bolster chisel. Just going to break round, keeping to the wide lines. And then so what I've done is just broke the top finish on the plaster, and some parts have come away, but at the moment, fortunate for me, it's only come away in the area that we're going to remove and hasn't come away on the surface that we'd like to leave as reinstated as possible, so fully plastered if we possibly can these sides. Bits may fall off during this process, but at the moment we've only lost the bits that actually fall within the chase itself. So next I'm going to chase out the area in order to facilitate the single socket box. To do this, I'm going to start on one edge, in this case the left-hand edge, and I'm going to chase that to what I believe is the correct depth for the box. Then what we're going to do with that area cut to the correct depth on one side is chase into the area in which we think is at the right depth. So I will start here and then chop to the gap that I've obviously created on the first part of the chase. So hopefully this left-hand edge here is at the depth that I believe the box is. So in other words, I've gone down for that depth, and we're going to now chase into the part that we've actually started. So into that groove. So I've got about a quarter of it out now, and I'm just checking that I'm at exactly the same depth as that first corner that I started on. Doing now is tidying up the edges. What we tend to do is chamfer down slightly, so I'm just squaring this top edge and the side edges out in order to facilitate the box, so they tend to be where we curve inwards. Let's see if the box fits. What we've found there is a tiny bit of play, which is not a problem, but is it flush? So hold it in there, it's below the surface, so it's sunk slightly below the finish of the plaster in order that we can reinstate it. What we don't want to do is have it sticking out. It's got to be flush or slightly below flush of the surface, so slightly in further or dead flush with where we are. You can already see we're popping out bits of the plaster. What we don't want to do is great swathes of plaster to be missing. These are just popping off as we go. Not a lot we can do about that. We have got to chase it out in order to get the cable under it, so we're going to have some peripheral damage as we go. And we can see how we're working up there, making sure we keep the width, okay, and I'm keeping the corners clean as well. So I'm going back in and making sure I'm doing that chamfering that I said that tends to occur. So we just need to confirm, as we did with the box, that the capping sits in the chase and doesn't stick out beyond the surface, in other words, protrudes. So if we lay it in there, we can see that the capping itself is below the surface of the finished plaster, and we've only lost a little bit of outside plaster here that will obviously need to be patched as well as the chase. We've done quite well by using that technique of just breaking it in the first instance that we went all the way around before we go in solid and hard with our chisel in order to remove the plaster and block in this case. It wouldn't matter if we'd gone for a twin box or a shallower box for a lighting circuit, the techniques are exactly the same. Key things to remember is that initial just nipping round the entire chase and the box to break the finish, just to give it that before we start hitting it too hard. And that when I chased out the box itself, I started at one side and chased into the actual side that I believe was at the right depth.